Good afternoon. Today we are working on a 2010 Mazda 3. And this problem that we have on this vehicle is we have a harsh engagement, harsh shift into drive and reverse, and we do not have any gear except third gear. So we're stuck in what we call fail-safe, or we're stuck in third gear. So we're going to show you what the problem is, what codes we're finding, how to diagnose it, and how to fix it. So the codes we are getting on this vehicle, the main code we're getting is a P0758 shift solenoid B electrical malfunction. There's another code for a P0841, but we're not interested in that. And we also have codes for erratic signal from TCM. Now there's a couple different things that could be going on with your vehicle when you have this code or this problem come up. One of the things could be is you could have a bad shift solenoid, you could have a bad circuit, or you could have a bad computer. So we're going to check all three of those things real quick, show you how to check them, see which one you got. Most likely it's going to be the computer. Alright, we want to start by identifying the transmission connector, which is that right there. Alright, so that's your transmission connector that goes to your solenoids. Now to get to that, you're going to have to take your air box out, and then I also took the battery box out because we want to identify next. We want to identify the transmission connector, and then next we want to identify the TCM. Now I got it unbolted. It's bolted to the transmission down here. So right here, it should be sitting in there kind of like that when you first get to it. There's 3 bolts on this thing. One of them goes right there. Alright, and then the other one goes back over here on that side. Now you can see that bolt hole. And then there's one more that's kind of back behind. Now this one you can just break it loose because it slides out through this fork right here. So you can just break that loose and slide that out. So you get 3 bolts that bolt it to the top of the transmission. Okay, so I got my multimeter set up to test the solenoid. Now we're going to ohm out the solenoid here. To start with, I got an alligator clip right here clipped to this plate down here, right there. Now on that plate there is 2 ground straps going to it. You see those right there? That's the same plate I'm going to. So I'm going to the same ground as the solenoids. That's where the solenoids ground out at. Alright, so I got my multimeter and I'm going to set it to ohms. I'm going to set it to a sound so I know when it's ohming out we got a good circuit. Now on the transmission connector itself, I'm going to come over here and take a look at it. Alright, now you're looking at the connector. Top row, second over from the right, that is your shift solenoid B. Mazda calls it port AJ. They letter there. Okay, so we got it ohmed out. I got the connector in it down there in my pen, and I got it on the negative, and we got good ohms. Our ohms should be between 2 and 4, and we're right smack dab in the middle. Actually it's really 1 and 4, but 2 and 4 is a good solenoid, so we know the solenoid is good. Now to test the circuit itself, we want to make sure that it's not ohming out to ground, that it's not connected or shorted to ground. So the way you do that, and all you got to do is come down here to your transmission connector, unplug it right there, and you should lose ohms. Now we know that we're not shorting the ground between there, which is where we've hooked up our multimeter and our TCM connector. We're not shorting out from there to this connector right here because they're not shorting out to ground. So we know we got a good circuit and we know we got a good solenoid, so that leaves us only one thing to check, which is the computer. To test the computer, we are going to back probe into the yellow wire down there. Alright, I got a bed of nails on it down here. And, back probed into the wire, and that goes to shift solenoid B. It's the yellow wire, and it's on the pin over here on this back side, that pin. All right, that's where the yellow wire goes into. And on the other side, I just have my ground still hooked up over there. And I plugged my mass airflow back up and put half my air box back on. And to replace the battery, I just used a jump box. Okay, so we're in the vehicle now, and I got my multimeter set up, and it's on voltage. So we're testing voltage to shift solenoid B. We got it back probed, and we got the vehicle running, and we're going to put it in drive. Now when you put it in drive, you should have 5 volts come up, and we are not getting that. Now you can also see that I got a little bit of a rough engagement. Maybe you could see that. Yeah, you can see that a little bit. So I got a rough engagement in reverse, and we have 0 voltage going to the shift solenoid. So if you have that at any point, you should always have voltage going to your shift solenoid. Even if you have a bad solenoid, you should have voltage going to it. So that tells us that we have a bad TCM and we need to replace the TCM. Okay, so we've narrowed it down to the computer. We know that we have a problem with the computer. You might have a solenoid bad or a circuit code, but most commonly the computers are bad on these things. So 2 things you can do to fix it. You can either buy a new TCM and have it reprogrammed, or you can come over here and let me show you. Or you can come over here and you can go to this website I found online, and they rebuild these things. I've actually found a couple websites that do this with different computer modules. They rebuild these things, they take them apart, they find what's bad in the circuit board, and then they go in and they resolder it, whatever they do, specialty, and get it going, and they put a lifetime warranty on it, and it's only about 200 bucks. I've researched and I found that a brand new TCM for this thing, it's about 500 bucks to get it pre-programmed and shipped to your door. So saves you 200 or 300 bucks, and it comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can't really beat it. So that's how we fix this video. If you have any more questions, comments, things you would like to see, just put them below in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.